You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hello and welcome to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would talk about John Gottman's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So these are 4 principles that affect how we show up in conflict with our partner, and then also discuss what are the antidotes to these 4 conflicts. So let's jump right in. There's a lot of ways that we kind of show up in relationships that are triggers or things that kind of prevent us from connecting with our partner, solving problems that are perhaps solvable, or kind of moving away from our partner rather than moving towards our partner. So I wanted to talk about the Four Horsemen. This is something that I talk about with clients a lot in terms of what are the four horsemen and what are their antidotes. So John Gottman identifies these 4 communication styles that are incredibly destructive for relationships because when he sees these showing up in relationships, it predicts the end of a relationship. So if we continue to use these communication styles, if we continue to show up in our relationship in this way, it slowly erodes the health and the successfulness of this relationship. So these 4 communication styles are something that we want to start to recognize, identify, and then start to change by using the antidotes that help prevent these communication styles. So let's break them down. Okay, so first up, we have criticism. So this isn't just complaining. This is attacking our partner's character or personality, which can be so detrimental to our relationship and our ability to communicate with our partner or even our loved ones. So for example, instead of saying, "I'm so upset you didn't do the dishes," criticism would look like, "You're so lazy. You never help around here. You never do the dishes." Do we see the difference there? We're blaming the person and who they are rather than sharing our feelings. So this can really start to affect our trust and our ability to communicate with our partner if when we don't do something that our partner needs or wants, that we're then being attacked for who we are personally. The second one is, so this communication style is even more toxic than criticism. So it involves treating our partner with disdain or disrespect. So again, this is that showing up and communicating as though there's something wrong with our partner. So think kind of sarcasm or eye rolling, name calling, mockery, right? Ways of showing up are basically saying, like, "I'm superior to you," or "I'm better than you," and there's something wrong with you because of that. So contempt is considered the biggest predictor of divorce or leading to the end of a relationship. So the third one is defensiveness. So this is when we see ourselves as the victim in every situation. So I'm never going to take responsibility or see that I might be a part of whatever is happening, whatever challenge or problem that I'm trying to navigate through with my partner. I never have any responsibility, or I'm never a part of what's going wrong. So it's refusing to take responsibility. It's making excuses. So for example, "It's not my fault. I forgot. You didn't remind me." Right? So I'm the one who didn't do what my partner asked, but I'm blaming you for not reminding me. It escalates the conflict because no one is willing to own how they showed up and create an environment where we can solve this solvable problem. And finally, we have stonewalling. So this is where one partner withdraws from the interaction. So we see this kind of as complete shutdown, right? They're no longer engaging. They're no longer talking. They're refusing to engage in the conversation that's happening. So they might give the silent treatment, avoid eye contact, or physically leave the room. This is especially common with men, but I see it a lot with my female clients as well. It's just this complete overwhelm and a way to avoid the conflict, right? To avoid having to solve our problems or find a way through that gridlock. But actually what this does is create more distance in the relationship and starts to build resentment, right? My partner isn't showing up. My partner isn't here. This problem is ongoing. So what can we do? If we know that the four horsemen are, so what can we do? If we know that the four horsemen are criticism, content, so what can we do? Now that we know the four horsemen are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling, what do we do if we start to see these come up in our relationship? So for criticism, it's a gentle startup. For criticism, it's a gentle startup. For contempt, it's building a culture of appreciation. For defensiveness, it's that ability to take responsibility. And for stonewalling, it's practicing self-soothing and taking breaks. So what can I do to support myself? So recognizing these patterns is the first step to changing them. I have to know that they're happening in my communication style with my partner or with my loved ones. It's remembering that building healthy communication style is about respect, empathy, and a willingness to work together, right? So again, as we kind of talked about last podcast, I need to build this sense of I'm in this with my partner and this is why I'm doing it. And these communication styles don't support that. So I need to remember when I'm engaging in a conversation with my partner, what do I like about them? How can I take responsibility for part of what's going on here so that we can, again, solve these solvable problems or understand that we're working with a gridlock problem? So if we notice the horsemen in our relationship, then it's time to take action. It's time to start to recognize what are the antidotes for these communication styles that are showing up. So remembering that we always have the choice and that we can start to work towards changing parts of our relationship that are no longer serving us. So that's it for today's episode. Remember that we want to work towards building healthy and strong bonds with our partner, that we want to remember what we like about them, and we want to start to build that healthy foundation. So healthy relationships take work, but it's worth it in the end. So until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.